Hi, I'm Zoe and this is Jewel. Just a quick reminder that I'm not a professional horse trainer and anything you see in my videos is intended as a guide only. I always recommend advice from professional horse trainers. Have a great one, enjoy the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on notifications to our channel. Drop a comment below, let us know what you'd like to see. Okay, so what I'm going to show you in today's video is just a little bit of liberty work that Jill and I have been working on together. Hey sweetheart. And then after that I'll show you, Jill's got a little bit of a wall separation in her front hoof after all the excessive rain we've had here in New South Wales. Nothing serious, it's nothing infected. I've already had the farrier check her out, but he's left me with some homework, if you will, just to make sure that it doesn't get infected and that her foot heals naturally and closes back together. So since this is a liberty video, we better do away with the halter. So for anyone new to doing liberty work with your horse, you just want to work at this point of just getting your horse just to at least start to follow you and stop when you, hey darling. So without further ado, we'll see what we can do today. Excuse me, can we do some liberty today? Come on, Papa. Good. And so what you just want to work on is just things like this, just getting them to follow you. And whoa. And if you're pretty new to this, like we are, sometimes hand cues, even just touch them when they stop, that can also aid in their stopping as well. Good girl. So you want to make this as positive, good girl, and fun as possible. Good girl. And you want to make sure that you can actually do this from both sides of the horse, as you'll find a lot of horses are quite funny about being led from one side and won't go from the other. Good girl. So I've started introducing subtle hand cues with Jewel just to try and get her to walk on the side I'm asking. Come on, good girl. It's liberty, she can go and do what she wants. And so what you do in this sort of scenario is you just got to try and get their attention back, like so. Good girl. And where this liberty work with her started was this fallen log just here. And I kissed to her and I just wanted to see if she would actually follow me over the log. And she actually started following me. Good girl. So I started praising that and our liberty work has started to gently grow from there. Good girl. So as you can see, you know, there's no halter, no lead rope on her. This is purely her decision. Good girl. She's never been punished for not following me or anything like that. And I've never used a clicker or food reward to get this behaviour either. This is purely her decision to join me and be my equine partner. Good girl. These sorts of exercises they're great for confidence boosting and building on an existing bond you may already have with your horse or strengthening one with a new equine partner like Jewel and myself. Good girl. Good. Hey. Oh, okay, all right, we'll have cuddles, okay. So what Jewel is doing there is something that I actually trained her to do many months ago, actually, just to get her used to me being close to her. And I'd start off by facing her like this and lure her head around me with a little bit of carrot. Only now Jewel will do this willy-nilly, all on her own. Even if I'm just brushing her, she's like, oh, you know, let's have cuddles. Okay, Mum. Good girl. So I think we'll call it the Liberty a quit for today. And I'll put her halter back on and I'll show you the deal with her foot. Good girl. So it is actually dinner time for the horses, which is why Jewel's been a little bit impatient with me. But considering that she hasn't been fed yet and her equine partner has already been fed, she's doing very well, so I'm quite pleased with her today. So I'll just get the tools that I need and we'll meet you back at the horse. So as I've mentioned in previous videos, good girl, with this point of Jewel's training, I don't just march up to her all the time and put a halter on her. I encourage her to come to me before I put a rope around her, and I'm a little tangled up, that's okay. There we are. So, but it's just helped build her confidence. Come here. As for reasons known only to Jewel, she used to run away from me the moment she saw the halter and lead rope. I don't know why. All I know is that these exercises of asking her to come to me, praising her, and then walking away, repeat the exercise another 2, maybe 3 times before gently haltering her and leading her off to do whatever we're going to do. So now I've got the halter back on her. Let's have a look at her feet and see how her foot's healing since the farrier came last week. So as I mentioned earlier, it's actually her front ride here. Yes, Jewel. Yes, I'm going to check your feet. I love you too. Yes. She has been a very affectionate mare today. Anyway, so I'll have a look at her front here. Come here, give me your foot. Foot. Thank you. So it's pretty muddy from all the rain and the mud and excessive wet that we've had here. So let's just pick out her feet and we'll have a look and see how her foot's healing. Ooh. So it's just this little groove in here and that actually appears to be healing quite well in there. So just got to try and scrape out as much of that mud as I can, and then we'll fill that gap back up with a little bit of copper sulfate mixed with a bit of Vaseline. Okay, so hopefully you can see clearly there. You can see that she's actually got the outer hoof wall here separated from the main hoof capsule. So she doesn't have an infection, as I said earlier. The farrier's already had a look at this and said no, there's no infection there, she's fine, but we'll just put some copper sulfate, also known as bluestone, mixed with a bit of Vaseline, just pack it in there and that'll stop any infection. So I'll give her back her foot and I'll get some of that. Okay, so as you can see here, it's just blue copper sulfate. And all you do is you just pack it in there and that'll stop any infection. Nothing lives in copper sulfate. So as per my farrier's instructions, we just pack it in there, make sure it doesn't get infected, and then clean out her foot like this, as we've done today, once a week or once every couple of weeks until it's fully healed. And then her foot will fully close up and she'll be fine. Good girl. Okay, so that's today's session over, and we'll take her halter off in a moment and give her a dinner. And for those wondering, yes, Jewel is sporting a brand new haircut. This I wouldn't ordinarily have done, but poor Jewel has suffered terribly from sweet itch, also known as Queensland itch, terribly this year, to the point that she actually chiseled her own mane right in the middle, roughly here, so it was thinner on one point than the rest of it. And I thought, well, let's take her to the equine groomers and we'll deal with it. So it's not the prettiest haircut in the world, but it looks better than a chiseled mane. Okay, so I think we'll give this little girl her dinner now, and we'll sign off here, and yeah, we'll catch you in the next video. I hope you found some of this video helpful, and once as always, if you have any questions for myself or Jewel here, chuck us a comment below and I'll answer them the best way I can in a Q&A video. See you all next time.